The American dream is changing in 2026. For decades, the green card has been the ultimate symbol of opportunity in the United States. Millions of immigrants have spent years, sometimes even decades, waiting for their chance to legally live and work in America. But in 2026, the future of the U.S. green card system is facing one of the most significant shifts in recent history. New immigration restrictions, policy debates, and political pressures are beginning to reshape who gets permanent residency and who might have to wait even longer. For many immigrants, this isn't just policy, it's their future, their careers, and their families at stake. Governments are now discussing tighter eligibility rules, longer processing timelines, and stricter scrutiny for applicants. But what exactly is changing? Who will be affected the most? And could these changes make getting a green card even harder in the coming years? In this video, we'll break down the latest developments and what they truly mean for immigrants hoping to build a life in the United States. The green card system. Why it matters so much. To understand why the current changes are such a big deal, it's important to understand what a green card actually represents. Officially known as permanent residency, a green card allows immigrants to live and work permanently in the United States. It opens the door to many opportunities, from stable employment to the ability to sponsor family members and eventually apply for U.S. citizenship. Every year, the United States issues hundreds of thousands of green cards through several categories, including family sponsorship, employment-based immigration, humanitarian programs, and diversity visas. However, demand has always far exceeded supply. For many applicants, especially those from highly populated countries, the wait time can stretch beyond 10 or even 20 years. Because of this backlog, even small policy changes can dramatically affect millions of people waiting in line. Now in 2026, with growing political debates over immigration levels, the system may be entering a new phase where access becomes more restricted and more selective than ever before. New immigration restrictions being discussed in 2026. One of the biggest concerns among immigration experts right now is the discussion around new restrictions being proposed in 2026. Policymakers are exploring ways to tighten eligibility requirements for permanent residency, particularly in employment-based immigration programs. Some proposals aim to prioritize highly skilled professionals while limiting opportunities for lower-skilled workers. Others focus on increasing security screenings, financial requirements, and documentation standards for applicants. These changes are being presented as efforts to protect the domestic workforce and ensure that immigration benefits the national economy. However, critics argue that stricter rules could slow down the immigration process even further and create additional barriers for hardworking immigrants who are already contributing to the country. The debate is far from settled, but one thing is clear: the direction of immigration policy may become more selective. For immigrants planning their future in the United States, understanding these potential restrictions is becoming more important than ever. Green card backlogs are reaching historic levels. Another major factor shaping the future of green cards is the growing backlog of applications. Even before 2026, the U.S. immigration system was struggling with millions of pending cases. In employment-based categories alone, some applicants have been waiting for over a decade due to country-based limits and annual visa caps. For immigrants from countries like India and China, the waiting period can stretch dramatically longer. These backlogs create enormous uncertainty for families who must continue renewing temporary visas while waiting for permanent residency. Now, with potential policy changes on the horizon, many experts worry the backlog could grow even larger. If stricter screening procedures or reduced visa allocations are introduced, processing times could extend even further. For immigrants already stuck in the system, this means even more years of uncertainty. The backlog issue is now one of the most critical challenges facing U.S. immigration policy today. How these changes could affect skilled workers, highly skilled immigrants, particularly those working in technology, engineering, healthcare, and research, have traditionally relied on employment-based pathways to obtain green cards. Many come to the United States on temporary work visas and later apply for permanent residency through employer sponsorship. However, new immigration discussions in 2026 suggest that even this pathway may undergo significant adjustments. Some proposals aim to prioritize workers with advanced degrees or specialized expertise, potentially making the process more competitive. While this could benefit certain high-demand professionals, it might also leave many mid-level skilled workers facing new challenges. Employers may also face additional paperwork, compliance checks, and longer approval timelines. For immigrants who have already built careers and families in the United States, these uncertainties can be deeply stressful. The future for skilled workers may still hold opportunities, but the pathway to permanent residency could become far more complex than before. Family-based immigration could also face pressure. Family reunification has long been a cornerstone of U.S. immigration policy. Through family-based immigration, U.S. citizens and permanent residents can sponsor certain relatives for green cards. This system has allowed millions of families to reunite across borders. However, as immigration debates intensify, some policymakers are questioning whether family-based categories should be reduced in favor of employment-based immigration. The argument is that economic needs should take priority in shaping immigration policy. If such proposals move forward, the impact on immigrant families could be significant. Waiting times for siblings, adult children, and extended relatives could become even longer. For many immigrants, the ability to bring family members to the United States is one of the most important aspects of obtaining permanent residency. Any changes in this area could reshape the immigration landscape in ways that deeply affect communities across the country. What immigrants should do right now? With so many potential changes being discussed, immigrants may feel uncertain about their future plans. While no one can predict exactly how policies will evolve, experts generally recommend staying informed and prepared. Immigration laws can change quickly, and understanding new rules early can help applicants make better decisions about visas, employment, and long-term residency strategies. It is also important for immigrants to maintain valid legal status, keep documentation organized, and stay updated on policy announcements. Many people waiting for green cards are already navigating a complex system, and preparation can make a significant difference. While the future may involve new restrictions or additional scrutiny, opportunities for legal immigration to the United States are unlikely to disappear entirely. Instead, the system may simply become more competitive and more selective. The future of immigration in America. Looking ahead, the future of the U.S. green card system will likely depend on political decisions, economic priorities, and demographic needs. The United States has historically relied on immigrants to drive innovation, entrepreneurship, and workforce growth. At the same time, immigration policy has always been shaped by national debates over borders, labor markets, and security. In 2026, these debates are once again intensifying. Some leaders are pushing for tighter immigration controls, while others argue that the country needs more immigrants to sustain economic growth. The final outcome may reshape how millions of people pursue the American dream. What remains certain is that immigration will continue to be one of the most important and closely watched policy issues in the United States.